Have you ever stunned a shark where you flip them upside down and they go to sleep?
Never once have I even come close to a shark to stun it.
Oh.
Have you?
Yeah.
What? Don't say it like that. What do you mean?
Well, like the little ones.
God damn!
From like Florida?
No, it was in Catalina.
No, I've never once stunned a shark.
Well, if you turn a shark upside down, they fall asleep. They like go into a catatonic state and they can't do anything. So
Like
then they just like sit there.
Every kind of shark.
I'm sure that it would be really hard to flip a great white, but probably.
I mean, shit, if one's coming after me, I'll try it if that stat is true.
Do a barrel roll.
Otherwise, I'm going to be real pissed at you when I'm wrestling a great white.
I think you got other problems if you're wrestling great white.
That's true. That's true. No, I've never stunned a shark before, but I mean, I've known you for how fucking long, and I've never known that you have. You of all people who avoid every kind of dangerous scenario in life possible.
Well, I wasn't in the tank with it. It was a little shark and it was in a tank. And then they were like,
Flip it upside down.
yeah, if you flip these sharks upside down, then they'll go to sleep. And like you touch it on the nose and it like, whoa, it freaks out. And then you like flip it upside down and then it just chills out there.
Dude, that poor fucking shark. In
Yeah,
that
I know,
little
right?
tank. It's just like, do, what the fuck was that? I'm asleep. Like 1,600 times a day, because I'm sure this was in high school, right? Like
Yeah.
a high school group of kids.
Yeah, it
flipping
was
the
for
sharks around.
oceanography class.
Oh, how big was this shark? Like, give me some like.
It was like
A
2
banana?
feet long.
Okay, I knew you were gonna give me an actual fucking number that I won't be able
Okay,
to know.
this big.
Whoa, 2 feet is that big?
Yeah.
That's kind of a big shark. That's like
I mean,
That's
include
like
a tail
4
in here. This
bananas.
is like a tail.
it's like 4 bananas,
Yeah, it is like about 4 bananas.
like big bananas.
yeah,
Now-
no, like 4 small bananas.
No, we have different definitions for small bananas.
4 plantains.
All right, give me your goddamn. We've carried on enough about this shit.
Yeah, most of it's probably gonna get cut out.
All right.
So my goddamn is after this adventure that we had last night.
Yeah. Facebook Live.
Yeah,
Live.
I stayed at your house until like I don't know 10:30 or something,
Yeah.
and
We pulled basically an all-nighter.
basically I haven't done that since high school. And I got home and we put my kid to sleep, my toddler to
Yeah,
bed.
because we let the toddlers stay up and play,
Yeah,
which they normally go to bed at like 7:30.
yeah,
So that was a late night for them.
real late. And he was like, I'm tired. Like he was not upset about going to bed or anything.
No,
And
he was exhausted.
yeah, we put him down and everything was fucking hunky-dory. And then like an hour later, he was like, hey, go fuck yourselves.
Oh no.
And he started crying and like screaming and he was yelling for me and stuff. And I was like, oh no, this isn't happening.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And so Brandon went in there eventually. Like we let him cry for a while, but then
To
we're
see if
like,
he'd go back down.
yeah, like this, it's not going away.
Yeah, something's up.
So then Brandon went in there. By the way, sorry if you can hear all of the kids playing. They're
Yeah.
at my house.
Pretty sure that one's mine cackling.
Yeah. Well, we got a crisscross crash, so they're having a great fucking time.
Oh yeah, it's blowing my kid's mind.
But so then Brandon went in there to comfort him or whatever, and he got him to go back to sleep, and then there was that. And then like an hour later, he fucking woke up again.
Oh
We're like,
God,
are you
You're like,
kidding
What the
me?
hell, man?
Yeah, and
This
then
is never you.
no, he sleeps
Yeah.
through the night like great, and then
Yeah.
that only lasted for like a couple minutes, and then he put himself back to sleep. And we're like, okay, great. Brandon
Yeah.
didn't even wake up for that one.
So you were like, okay, great.
Yeah. And then he did it again like 30 minutes later or something.
Oh, shit.
And so Brandon was like, fuck, I'll go in there. Like, it worked last time. I'll just try and put him down again. And so he
Yeah.
went in there. And then, like, 2
Was he
minutes-
saying anything like when you went in there, like, I'm not tired or?
No, he just cries at you.
Oh, okay. Ah!
Yeah, basically. And he's, like, sad. And then
Yeah.
you can rub his back and stuff.
And then he settles down.
yeah, he's fine. But so then, like, 2 minutes later, Brandon comes into our room with my kid. And I'm like,
No,
son of a bitch.
no.
Yeah,
Leave him in there.
I know.
Let him cry.
But also, I wanted to sleep.
Yeah.
But then I know when my kid's in the bed, like, he's not going to sleep. He's just
No.
going to be all over me or whatever,
Oh
right?
my gosh, my kid, I can never share a bed with him. He just kicks me in the forehead all the time.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Like throat kicks and stuff.
yeah.
And I
Fucking-
had the baby that I was, like, laying down with because I was feeding her.
Oh, yeah. So you're like, no.
Yeah, don't kick her in the soft spot.
No.
So,
Getting elbows to the throat. Yeah, not fun.
exactly. So he brought him in and then he fucking passed out. We're like, okay, you got to
Oh,
lay
nice.
down though. And he was just like fucking done. 2 minutes later, he's snoring.
Aww.
And it was the cutest thing in the world. And I was like, oh my God, I want to sleep with him always, but also never again.
Yeah, like, let's not keep this up.
Yeah.
Like, I want it just for today.
Exactly. But it was really cute. And then I had my husband and my toddler and my baby and me and
Your whole
both fucking
family?
dogs and
Yeah.
the cats. And I couldn't move in my little bed, but my heart was so full. It's like, this is great.
Aww.
Yeah, that's my goddamn.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like something terrible and it ended out nice.
No, it's pretty nice. I guess it's terrible that he came into bed, but it's also nice because I was like, I get to cuddle my baby.
Yeah.
But I
never get
didn't
to
like
cuddle
have
him.
to cuddle him. He wasn't like, I will touch you, only you.
Yeah.
Like he was further to Brandon's side, so
You're like, I got to choose.
yeah.
Aw, sweet
Yeah.
little boy.
What's your goddamn?
Okay, so mine is, I kind of mentioned it a lot last night.
Uh-huh.
But, since I've been fucking sick for like 300 years now, I've had this sweet cough going along with the fucking pneumonia lung.
Mm-hmm.
And I have either pulled a muscle in my rib or I broke a rib or I am feeling my lungs or
Oh,
something from
yeah.
coughing so much. Holy motherfucking shit balls.
I've been there.
Oh, I was there when I was pregnant, but this is almost like worse only because when I was pregnant, it was like an isolated event. Like it happened for 3 days or something.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been going on for so long and I keep re-injuring it like every time I cough. Motherfuck, it hurts so bad. And today in line getting Starbucks for you and me. I said so aggressively.
You're
like,
welcome.
yeah, getting Starbucks for you. No, when I was getting Starbucks to come here, I coughed so fucking hard that I pulled it again or some shit.
Yep.
So now it's killing me.
I went to, when I had fucking, I don't know, whatever I had, my death lung thing.
Yeah, you had it forever
Yeah,
too.
I had it
Didn't
forever.
Brandon have pneumonia during that time?
Probably.
You probably had pneumonia too.
I probably did too.
What the fuck is up with that? We're too young for this shit.
I know, right?
Stupid.
But I went to the doctor and I was like, yo, I think I broke my rib. And she was like, I mean, maybe we can do an x-ray on it, but like it's probably just bruised or something. And I was like, cool. What do I do? And she's like,
Nothing.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if it still hurts in 3 to 4 weeks, then like,
Come talk to me.
yeah, we'll figure out what you should do. Otherwise,
Ugh.
good luck. Peace be with you.
Nothing makes it better either. I'm living off of ibuprofen and it's not doing shit.
Yep.
And it's weird because it hurts under my boob, but then like I can touch the rib and it's in my armpit side boob area. It's so weird. And then this whole time I thought it was just my lungs because literally when I was diagnosed with the pneumonia, I could feel where it was in my lungs. Like on my left side, it was up higher. On my right side, it was down lower.
And you're like, oh, it's my ribs.
Yeah. Well, no, that was my lungs. The doctor was like, that's exactly where your pneumonia is, right? And I was like, oh shit. And it's like a stabbing pain. And this is a stabbing pain too. But now that I can like pinpoint and actually touch the rib, I'm like, oh, it's like an outside injury.
Ugh.
Which is, I would much rather have that than like me still be feeling pneumonia at this point. 'cause
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
gone
that's
through
true.
so much antibiotics.
That's true.
But anyway, so every time I like try to laugh or breathe deep or hiccup or cough, I'm like, and sneeze, fucking forget about it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
When mine was really bad, I would sneeze and I would like dread it.
Yep.
Like I would stop sneezing or like look at whatever I had to do and be like, elephant peanut butter, rub your elbow.
Yeah, try to get rid of it.
Yeah, all the
Yep.
things. If I had to sneeze and I did, I would yell.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Me too. Yeah, that's what's happening. And then I like hold my boob together, like maybe that'll help it, and it doesn't help.
No. God damn.
So if you see me molesting myself occasionally and trying to stifle coughs, just like I just tried to do in that sentence, you'll know why.
You're not just real excited about my story.
No, it just hurts. Okay, are you ready?
So ready.
My story, I'm actually really excited to tell,
Ooh.
but
Uh-huh.
I know you already know it.
Oh.
Because we have texted about this fucking years before we ever had podcasts. When we
Really?
would just like randomly be like, holy fucking shit, read this Wikipedia page. Or we would send pictures to each other and be like, this lady had her face transplanted. You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah. Mhm.
like that shit. So I know you know the story.
All right.
You might not recognize his name, but when I hit a certain part of the story, you're going to be like, I fucking know this.
All right. I'm excited.
But maybe you don't know all of it because,
Yeah.
you know, who knows? But you
Chances
probably-
are I didn't fucking research it for a podcast.
Exactly. And it did get brought up on our Facebook group page. I didn't look who suggested it because I was
Oh.
like, oh, I know that one. I'm suggesting it. But I totally should have given somebody some fucking credit.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the story of Joe Roy Metheny, which is also the best fucking last name ever.
Metheny?
Metheny.
Did he have a daughter named Crystal so you could call her Crystal Metheny?
Oh, dear Lord Jesus. I wish he did. He had a son. I wonder what his son's name was.
Ice.
Methany, Ice Methany. Ice. We call him Ice.
It's just another word for drugs.
Ah.
Snow.
Snowball. We call him Snow for short.
Yeah, 8-ball methany.
Yeah. That one's actually pretty good. I don't know his son's name, but missed opportunity that,
Probably happened.
yeah, right?
All right.
Joe Roy Metheny was born March 2nd, 1955, and he grew up with a rough childhood, as they all do.
Mm-hmm.
When he was 6 years old, his father, who was like a raging alcoholic,
Ooh.
he ended up dying in a car accident. I'm assuming from, alcohol-related shit.
Yeah, part of that rage.
Yeah, he died in a car accident, and this left his mother to care for 6 children on her own.
Ugh, God.
Ugh. Okay, so here's where the next part comes into play because she's a mom alone with 6 kids, right?
Mhm.
According to Joe, his mom often neglected the kids because she would work multiple jobs as a waitress, barmaid, and food truck driver.
Nice.
Just the driver, not the food truck food preparer.
You need a special person to drive it?
I don't know.
I would think
She
that
was
you
a
would just
special
like drive it to a place and be like, I'm here now.
What if food truck is something totally different? Like she just delivered bread.
Oh, it could be that.
Yeah, I was thinking of like food truck, like roach
Like a-
coach.
yeah, roach coach.
Yeah. Okay, so, she had a lot of fucking jobs to provide for all these kids.
Mhm.
And he claims that his mom would often send the kids to go live with other people in like a foster home like arrangement, but not technically through the system. It would just be like people she knew. or
Yeah,
some
like
shit.
go hang out with your aunt.
Yeah, go live with them for a week because I'm going to be fucking working 80 jobs so that you guys can wear shoes, right?
Yeah.
His mom denies that this ever happened, though. She's like, I fucking busted my ass for those kids. They
Yeah.
were not neglected, right?
Yeah.
Joe was an above average student in school, and he was actually very bright and polite as a kid. And he was like described as like a kind child growing up.
All right.
But Joe hated his mom so much from his childhood that he would tell others that she was dead.
Jesus.
And his mother would go on later to say that, like I said, she never really neglected the children. And if Joe felt that way, that like he had been neglected, that was his own fault. So it's kind of hard to tell, what side of the story is true.
yeah.
Like, I'm sure there was some form of neglect because how the fuck can you not neglect 6 children and work 1,800 jobs
I feel like I'm neglecting one of my 2 children.
with one job? Yeah.
and
me
a
too.
husband and
Yes.
one job. Yeah.
Oh, God. I was literally just telling somebody the other day, I'm like, this sounds so fucking conceited, but as a mom, you are so needed by so many people. And then, like, by the end of
Not
the
even needed, just wanted. Like, Mom, I want fruit snacks. Like,
Yeah.
Dad's watching football. You
Yeah.
ask him. He's
Yeah.
got legs.
Yeah. And they're like, no, I want you to get it. And you're like, hey, yo, bro,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need to fucking sit for a hot minute before
Yeah.
I torch this house down.
Mom, I dropped my car. Okay, get it. No, you get it.
Yeah.
Nah, bitch, you get it.
You literally can't even take a shit or a piss in peace. I hide in the bathroom and it doesn't matter. My son will still bust in and be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I just need a fucking minute.
Yeah.
Bro. Anyway, so it's hard to tell. But also with a comment like, if he felt neglected, that's his own fault. That's pretty intense.
That's a little weird. That's like saying, closed mouth doesn't get fed. Like, well, he should have come to me for attention.
Yeah, exactly. So either way, maybe both sides are pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
When Joe turned 18, which was in 1973, he joined the military to get away from his home life
All right.
and to go, fucking spread his wings and fly like R. Kelly. He claims that while he was in the military, he served a tour in Vietnam. And while he was in Nam, he became addicted to heroin.
Ooh.
Missed opportunity. You should be doing meth, Methany.
Right?
Get it?
Although-
Together.
I don't think they had meth in Nam, but they did have a lot of opium.
Ah, those dens.
Those dens.
I don't know anything about the history of meth.
I'm pretty sure meth is a strictly American fucking business.
Cooked up thing from
Yeah.
someone's basement and some Drano and like fucking Sudafed.
Specifically in like the center of America.
Yeah, we're looking at you, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's like, it's not us, bro. It's like Missouri.
It could be. Yeah.
I watch a lot of Intervention. It's just all of the U.S. We're fucked up.
That's fair.
Okay, someday we'll fucking look into the history of meth, but not today.
Not today.
All right, so Joe's addicted to heroin, right? In Nam.
Yeah.
His mom claims that he never actually went to Vietnam and that she remembers him being stationed in Germany. And there's actually no public records that confirm either account, like what the fuck he did in the military.
Yeah. I was
Or-
a little bit concerned when you said that he claims he went to Nam, and I was like, that should be pretty
Straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know why there's so, like, obviously his mom and him don't get along. There's like weird differing accounts. Like,
Yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
he is being fucking dramatic.
And he's like, no, I went to Nam and I lost both my shins.
All of my shins are gone.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm addicted to heroin.
Either way, he got addicted to heroin.
Yes, either way. After joining the military and becoming addicted to heroin, he lost touch with his mother and he drifted away from his family.
Okay.
Which sounds like what he wanted to do. Joe was 6'1" and very overweight. And ironically, he went by the nickname of Tiny by those who knew him. And after the military, he would spend a lot of time in bars drinking and doing drugs. And he would go to these like homeless encampments. And that's how he lived his life.
All right.
Like I'd go get smashed and then I'm going to go crash in like Tent City, right?
Yeah.
He did have a steady job, but he would always spend all of his money on booze and crack. Evidently, he did crack too and heroin. And so, yeah, this escalated quickly,
Pretty sure crack's just like heroin's dirty cousin.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know enough about drugs. Okay, so he'd do all these drugs and he would like, drink a lot of alcohol and he'd spend all his fucking money. And so he didn't have anything left over for rent, right? That's why he was kind of like a nomad.
Yeah.
Oh, I should say, I had to use a handful of articles to get this information and try to piece it together. So the timeline is a little fuzzy because all the articles were different.
All right.
And one of the articles is literally his like confession, like his account of everything.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really line up with all the other shit that has like dates and stuff. So I did my best to put it together. If it's a little out of order and somebody really knows the story, I apologize. I tried real hard. So
Per most of our fucking podcasts.
yeah,
So
don't use our podcast for research.
Yeah.
We're here for strictly entertainment purposes. So at some point, like I was saying, he meets a lady friend and they move in together and they have a child together.
Whoa.
And sometime in 1994, Joe comes across a woman by the name of Kathy Magaziner. And she was a 39-year-old prostitute. And for one reason or another, he decides, I'm going to murder this lady. Like
shit.
he hires her or whatever. And
Yeah.
then he ends up murdering her and buries her in a shallow grave.
What?
And then 6 months later, he digs her up. I guess he buried her in a shallow grave on his property that he worked at. Like, it was
Okay.
like, I'm not 100% sure where he worked at here. Later, he works at a company that like builds pallets and stuff. And I guess there's a lot of land and shit. So I'm not sure if that's where he buried her or if he had another job at the time. It just said that he buried her in a shallow grave. And later, it said like where he worked. Like in another article, it said where he worked because he goes back and he unburies her.
Yeah.
He digs her body up, takes her head,
Oh.
puts it in a box,
Oh.
and like throws the box away. I read another article that said he fucked the head.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah,
How
I
many
didn't write
months
that in-
later? 6 months later?
6 months later, he dug it up. He took the head.
That's fucking
He fucked it,
horrific.
put it in a box, and threw it away. I
But
didn't
why?
actu-
Okay, first of all,
Yeah.
this escalated really quickly.
It did. It did. Yeah.
It was like we were bickering about whether or not he was in Nom, and then
Yeah,
suddenly
yeah.
he just fucking murders a prostitute.
He's like, and it's, I literally jumped from like 73 to 94. That's how the story's going to go.
all right.
There's not a lot in between.
Jesus.
And by the way, he still has the lady friend and a child at this time in his life. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if the lady friend was
She was
wife.
like, I don't do butt stuff. Get a toot.
Yeah, and he was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And he gets a toot, and then he's like, fuck it, I'm going to kill her, and then fuck her head. I don't know.
And then fuck her head 6 months later.
Yeah, 6 months later. That is a key detail.
He was like, I already paid for her. I don't want to pay for another toot, so I'm
Yeah.
just going to continue using this
I'm
one.
going to dig this one up.
That's fucking awful.
Yeah. Also, I didn't write the part down where he fucked her head, which is like, you
It
know.
seems like a pretty pinnacle part in this research.
Yeah, I wish I would have, but I think that was in one of the articles that was like, you know how it's like 20 fast facts about
Yeah.
the fucking Mr. Metheny. And then you read them all and you're like, that's wild. And then you go back to it and you're like, God damn, there's a lot of these.
Yeah.
And I never like fucking reread it again for this part of me actually writing it. But I'm like 98% sure he fucked her head.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's gross.
He did not admit to fucking her head in his confession.
Mm-hmm.
So
Did he admit to digging up her head and putting it in a box and then throwing it away?
I don't remember.
All right.
So at this point, anyway, you know, Joe has his little family or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and he's working as a long haul truck driver. So he'd be gone for like long stints of time.
Yeah.
And one day in July of 94, which I'm assuming is shortly after he murdered Kathy, he comes home from working overtime and he opens the door to his home that he shared with his family and he finds that everything is missing.
Uh-oh.
And he soon realizes that his old lady had taken everything and moved out of the home, even taking their 6-year-old son with her.
Oh, shit.
He called her his old lady. So that's why I was like, I don't know if they're married or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever.
You just got to
Yep.
be together.
The old ball and chain.
The old ball and chain.
Yeah, so she fucking scooped everybody up and was like, deuces. You smell like you fucked a 6-month-old head. So.
Ugh. I'm not into what you're into, so bye.
Yeah. So according to Joe, he didn't care about the baby mama at all. He was like, whatever, I would have paid her money to leave me.
I feel like every guy's going to say that after the fact.
Right. But he describes her as a crack addict and like she wasn't doing so well in her life. But also he fucking said he did crack and heroin and was like drinking booze, right?
Yeah, something, pot calling the kettle black.
Right. And he fucked a 6-month-old dead head.
Listen, we all have baggage.
Yeah. You can't fucking throw stones when you live in a glass house.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, he's like, I would have paid her money to leave me. I don't care. She was addicted to crack and crack is whack, right?
Yeah.
His problem was, though, that she took his 6-year-old son. And he was like, what the fuck? You're not going to take my son away from me.
Yeah, like I kind of like that kid.
Yeah, he got real riled up about that. He also felt that she couldn't adequately care for him because she was addicted to drugs. So he was like worried about his son's well-being.
Yeah.
Well, are you recognizing the story yet?
No.
Yeah, I didn't know any part of this. Okay. So after 6 months of his old lady leaving him, he finds out through the grapevine that she had moved in with another man who was also a junkie. And this other man was having her sell drugs out on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently CPS got wind of this shit, like this little side business they were running. One day when the old lady, the mom, the whatever, got caught selling drugs, and Joe's 6-year-old son was put into state custody for like child neglect charges, right?
Yeah.
And so evidently Joe had quite the criminal record himself, like his own past was a little shady.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find out what that history was, but it was enough to where he was unable to get his own son back from social services.
He was a crackhead. I'm pretty sure that comes with like fucking some felonies or whatever.
Also, remember how we said he fucked a 6-month-old head? I don't know if we've established that yet or not in this at this part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure, I know he hadn't been caught for yet, but maybe in his head he was like, I probably shouldn't have that kid either.
Yeah, right. Maybe the kid's better off in the system.
I doubt he had that much of a moral compass, but I don't know what his history was. And I actually don't know if he tried to get his son back, but in his little confession, he was like, my past is too seedy. I'm not going to get him back.
Yeah.
He had also mentioned in his little confession that like if she had just dropped the 6-year-old son off at his mom's, everything would have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost as if like she wouldn't want the child. Like why would she keep him? She knows she could have just dropped him off and everything would have been great. I don't know. It was weird.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, he can't get his son back, right? His son's in the state custody.
Yeah.
So this makes Joe super like resent his ex because now he's totally lost his son altogether, and also hate the man that she's living with who's like having her sell drugs on the street and everything.
Yeah.
And he decides to take it upon himself to exact his revenge.
All right.
He finds out through fucking all his homies on the street that his ex and her new main squeeze would often go get high with other homeless people under Baltimore's Hanover Street Bridge, which was like known to be an encampment for homeless people.
Yeah.
So one night in 1995, Joe goes to this bridge and he's all kinds of fired up. And he's like, I'm going to find my fucking ex. I'm going to give her a piece of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets to the bridge and big surprise, neither the ex or the guy is there because when you're all fucking fired up and ready to have the fight,
Yeah.
they're not there, right?
Of course.
Yeah. And you're like fucking washing your hair in the shower and you're like, next time I'm going to say this shit.
Yep.
You
I
know?
was literally thinking it's because you're in the shower, so they're nowhere to be found.
Exactly. Okay. So he gets there. They're not there, right? He does find 2 homeless men by the name of Randall Brewer and Randy Piker. Randall and Randy. And they're like passed out stone on a mattress under the bridge.
Uh-huh.
And Joe believes that these are the men who have been getting high with his ex.
Ooh, okay.
And so he goes fucking crazy and starts assaulting both men with a fucking axe that he had brought just for the occasion of finding his ex.
You don't assault people with an axe.
No.
You murder people with an axe.
Yeah, that's exactly what ended up happening. Both of the men quickly died from the injuries sustained from the axe blows.
God damn.
And Joe continued to hack away at them until they were unrecognizable and chopped up into tiny little fucking pieces.
Ugh.
And then he left them right where he found them and was just like, bye. So he hacked him to death on this mattress.
Jesus.
That's a little fucking intense.
It's like, got that out of my system.
Is it ringing bells yet?
No.
Ah, okay.
I mean, like, a little bit, but not really.
You're like, mattress. That sounds familiar.
I'm more like, I mean, people hacked up with an axe. That sounds familiar. But
Oh, okay. Okay. People are going to be so annoyed with me constantly asking, now, do you get it? Okay. So pretty fucking intense, right?
Yeah.
There's also, I read on one report that said that other people got murdered that night or somebody else had assaulted someone else with the axe and that's why the axe was there.
Oh, he left the axe? Oh,
Like
he
somebody
had
else
found
left.
the axe.
Yeah. I don't know. But then another article I read said he brought the axe.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
There was an axe.
I don't know the full
Involved.
story about what happened that night, but for sure he admits to chopping up these two men on the mattress, right? And
Yeah.
somebody else might have died with the axe as well, but somebody else got convicted of that shit.
Jesus. All right.
Okay, yeah, it's a sketchy bridge. It's
Yeah.
a bridge you don't want to be sleeping under, evidently.
Apparently.
So that same night, he's like all pumped up from his recent kill, right? And Joe found who he claimed to be a quote crack whore and lured her under the bridge under the guise that they were going to get high together. And he gets her high and then he starts questioning her about whether or not she knew any information about his ex. You know, like, oh, you're from these parts. Have you seen her or anything like that?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't fucking know who the fuck you're talking about. And Joe's like, you're fucking lying. So he decided to beat the crap out of her,
Oh, geez.
rape her,
Oh, no.
and then he kills her and he threw her body in some nearby bushes.
Jesus.
Overreacting much, Joe?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
This is like The Punisher if The Punisher was a horrible person.
Right? It's like getting back his, like, revenge for his family, but also he's, like, trying to kill his family.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of the Punisher.
It's the evil Punisher.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I wonder if he has a cool car. Probably not. He doesn't even have a cool house.
Yeah, I was like, isn't he like a crackhead homeless guy?
Basically. He probably has a really cool semi-truck.
Oh, there you go. It probably has flames on it.
Okay, so then that same night, he goes out and he finds a second lady, and he proceeds to do the same thing to her, where he brings her under the bridge to, like, you know, let's do drugs, asks about the ex, and when the woman's like, I don't fucking know who that is, he rapes and kills her as well.
This is just some fucked up interrogation.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is going on?
Ugh.
By the way, this is all his account, so I'm not really sure how much is true. Like, you know, we were saying before that he says that he was super neglected as a child and went to Nam, and we're like, I don't know how much of it is true.
Yeah.
He may or may not have been known to, like, embellish and kind of lie about shit, right?
Yeah.
As people do sometimes.
But I feel like I wouldn't embellish and lie about like murdering people. I'd be
Like admitting to a crime.
yeah, I'd be like, no, I didn't do that. That would be
Yeah.
my embellishment.
Yeah. It seems a little. But also, like, his kill count is at 4 in one night. And he also says he raped both women. And I'm like, do you think he really raped them? Like, it was done over a span of 7 hours.
Are
so,
you
like,
concerned that he might not be able to get it up twice?
Yeah,
in that
like,
amount
you
of
can
time?
blow your load that many times. I don't know. Maybe that's enough to get you off. I don't fucking know.
I feel like crack or whatever might like help
Speed things up.
speed.
I don't know. But he claims, and maybe he didn't finish every time. I don't know.
That's true too.
Yeah. Either way, it was a busy fucking night for Joe.
Apparently.
So he had the second lady, right? And he was throwing her in the bushes with the other lady when he looked down by the river, which ran under the bridge. And he noticed that there was an older man down there who was fishing and who was looking right in Joe's direction.
Yeah.
And Joe's like, well, shit, now I got to fucking loose in. I've got to take care of this man.
Gotta go rape and kill this guy.
Yeah, exactly. So he goes and he kills him. I guess he finds a steel pipe that was laying on the ground or some shit. And he picks it up, runs towards the man, and bashes him over the head.
Jesus.
And does it until he dies.
Mm-hmm.
And then he takes all 3 of the bodies, like pulls the women out of the bushes, and he weighs them down with rocks and throws them in the river.
Okay.
So that's 5 murders in
Yeah.
one night. Like I said,
But
in
who's keeping score?
a span of 7 hours.
Yeah.
All according to Joe. Seems like a busy night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he goes and he cleans himself up in the river and he heads home. He's like, wow, I feel great. Didn't find my ex, but that was a fun night.
Yeah.
About 2.5 weeks later, Joe was arrested on suspicion of murdering those 2 homeless men that were found chopped up on the mattress.
Yeah.
And he ends up spending 18 months in the Baltimore City jail waiting for his trial.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say just 18 months, and I was like, wow.
Oh, no. It's
Murder's
like
cheap.
Yeah. Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
No, you're going to love where this goes, though. So they just like book him, right? Like, you're fucking going in for murder. He didn't have money to pay for his bail. So he just sat there waiting for his trial.
Yeah.
The trial finally comes and it lasts a week before it was thrown out of court because there was lack of evidence that Joe had even committed the murders.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, how did they arrest him for it in the first place?
I don't know. See, the articles are so hard to like piece shit together.
Yeah.
But remember how I said there was also another murder happened that night and somebody else got convicted for that?
Yeah.
Well, that guy had a trial, obviously, and he got convicted of that murder. And I'm not sure if they pinned the other 2 homeless men, Randall and Randy. I'm not sure if they pinned it on that man because it was like the same murder weapon or what.
Jeez.
And again, like, we don't know if Joe's lying. There was no evidence to tie him directly to those murders.
Yeah.
But either way, he said he did it and he got away with murder.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Guess murder is cheap for him.
Right? So now Joe is set free and he goes up to one of his old bosses that he used to work for and he asks if he can have his old job back. And his old job was driving a forklift for a company that made pallets, like I said.
Yeah.
And the company was called Joseph Stein and Son Pallet Company.
Okay.
Just for funsies, if anybody fucking lives around there and they're like, hey, I know that place. So the company had a trailer on site and Joe asked if he could stay in that trailer and in exchange, he would keep an eye on the place during off hours, right?
Yeah.
And his old boss was like, sure, that sounds like a great idea. And then gives him his old job back and lets him live in the trailer. Well, the land was like super isolated and was perfect for allowing Joe to continue to murder.
All right.
He proceeds to find 2 more ladies of the night. And one was a woman by the name of Kimberly Spicer, who was 23.
Uh-huh.
Again, it gets fuzzy about who is murdered when. And like, he just calls them all crack whores, which is fucking, you know, very respectful and lovely.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I tried to like piece in what their actual names were
yeah.
when it was happening, but it's really hard. I didn't find one thing that was like cohesive, so bear with me. I know one of the ladies' name was Kimberly Spicer.
Okay.
So he brings them back to his trailer, and once he had them inside, he would attack, rape, and murder them by stabbing them or strangling the women.
Oh my God.
Then, here's where it gets a little interesting. He would chop up their bodies and put the human flesh into Tupperware containers and then store them in his freezer.
Uh-huh. Because what else are you going to do with it?
What else you gonna do? I'm gonna freeze this shit. I can't eat all of that meat.
Oh my God. Why are there so many goddamn cannibals around?
I don't know. It's fucking weird, right? Okay, so then he would take the, quote, unusable parts of the body and he would throw them into several makeshift graves on the property where he worked. Again, this is the pallet company.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that original murder of Kathy Magaziner, I'm not sure if he worked at the pallet company then and like buried her on that site.
Yeah.
But I know now he's working there and living there and this is where he ends up. He makes a ton of little makeshift graves and like buries body parts in several places.
All right. Jesus.
Okay. Then what he proceeded to do next is what makes him so famous. And I'm sure you will remember who he is.
All right.
And if not,
Pressure.
if not, then that's kind of fun that you forgot it because it's a crazy case. Over the weekends, he would open up a pit barbecue stand on the side of the road and he would sell hamburgers.
No.
Only these hamburgers weren't made from beef. They were made from beef ham as well as the human flesh of Joe's victims,
No.
all mixed together.
That's how you get mad people. It's like Mad Cow, but worse.
They're like foaming at the mouth.
Oh my God. Oh, that's awful.
So literally humans were eating humans and they had no fucking clue.
Do you think it was good?
Well, he says that once the meat was all mixed together, no one could tell the human flesh like was in the burgers because it tastes like pork.
Oh.
So no.
So no, it wasn't good?
No. So no, people didn't notice, according to him. Nobody complained. Nobody was like, these taste funny.
Oh my God.
Do you remember the story now?
No.
What? If I
No.
show you the picture of the guy, you're going to be like, oh, that guy.
Maybe.
Because it's like, I'll put the picture on our website.
Yeah.
But it's the picture of like a big overweight man. He looks like he's got crazy fucking teeth. He kind of looks like a big old Uncle Fester. And he's going like, rah, at the camera. Like, ah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's this guy.
Oh,
Joe
okay.
Metheny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's all coming back
Yeah.
together. It's with that picture.
It's all coming back to her.
Oh.
now.
Well, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. So he would fucking sell the human flesh as burgers.
Ugh. Do you think it was like someone's favorite place to eat? Like when the fucking taco guy goes to the bar?
Oh, God, right? Or like you have family from out of town. You're like, dude, you got to try these burgers.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
They're fucking addicting.
Delicious.
I get itchy after I eat them for some reason.
Maybe they're addicted to like the drugs that were in the women's system.
Could
Is that how
be.
that works?
Yeah, is that how that works? Can you cook out crack? Like you burn off alcohol?
And it just leaves the like sweet crack flavor behind,
Yeah,
but without the alcohol,
exactly.
without the actual crack. Wait, was this crack cooked up in the basement of a Minnesota home?
Mm-hmm. This crack ran through an onion patch.
Distinct flavors of the Pineapple Express.
Jesus.
Yeah. Okay. So on December 8th, 1996, he lures another drug-addicted female back to his trailer by the name of Rita Kemper. And the whole purpose of him doing this is because he said he was running low on his special meat, which
Oh my
is
God.
gross. So he lures her in, right? He ripped her clothes off and started to beat her and attempted
Jesus.
to rape her. He said that she was screaming, but there was no one around to hear her because he's so secluded, right? And
my
he just
God.
laughed at her.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Then he turned away from her for a split second and she escaped him. So she runs out of the trailer, and the trailer was fenced in by this like 8-foot chain link fence,
Yeah.
and it had barbed wire at the top because it's like a company, right?
Yeah.
But there was a spot where there was a stack of pallets that she used to climb up it, like a ladder, and she scaled over the fence
Oh
and
my
hops
God.
over it, right? I'm pretty sure she's like naked or ripped clothes or something. I think he had her clothes.
Oh,
So she runs down the road screaming frantically, and some man stops to help her and takes her to the police station.
Jesus.
Yeah. Thankfully, the police believed her when she said, like, I just seen some shit.
Yeah.
And they immediately go to Joe's trailer to question him.
And he has a pile of her clothes.
And he has all the fucking evidence, right?
Yeah.
So when the police arrive, Joe knows that they're coming. Like, he knows what to expect. And so he opens the gate, and the policeman drew his gun and told Joe to get on the ground. And he complies and everything. Like, he knew the jig was up.
Yeah.
So the lady who escaped, Rita, she tells the police that Joe had said that he was going to kill her just like all the other women and bury her in the yard too.
Yeah.
And so they're like, that's pretty fucking suspicious.
There's a lot of to and also going on.
Yeah.
So
Like, this has happened before?
Yeah.
Hold up.
let's look for some evidence.
Yeah, let's check into this guy. And so they arrest Joe, and they have him for like about a month or so, and back and forth. They're like pulling him in for questioning and all this crap, right?
Yeah.
And he eventually admits to murdering the women and like shows the police where all their little shallow graves are on his property.
Mm-hmm.
He even took them to the river to show the police where he had weighed down those 3 other victims in the river. But that had happened 3 years prior
Jesus.
to this.
Yeah.
So there were no bodies that were ever recovered and no evidence or anything.
Yeah.
Then on December 1st, 1996, at the age of 41, Joe Metheny was charged with the killings of 3 women, Kimberly Spicer, Tony Ingracia, which I'm not sure who she is. She might have been the lady that also was murdered along with Kimberly, the first 2 in his trailer.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't verify
Yeah.
where she fell in the timeline, but here's who he gets like actually convicted for killing.
Mm-hmm.
And Catherine Magaziner, Kathy, the original one from before he broke up with his ex and all that shit.
Yeah.
The one he fucked her head.
God.
Yeah. So is that really insensitive to say?
I mean,
Pretty much.
He did it.
The charges for the murder of Tony were dropped because there was insufficient evidence that he had actually murdered her, which is also the one that I'm not quite sure where she falls in the timeline.
Yeah.
For Kimberly Spicer, he got life without parole.
Good.
And he was also charged with an attempted sex offense and the kidnapping of Rita Kemper, the woman who had gotten away and told the police.
Oh,
And he got 50 years for that.
God damn.
One of the women that he had killed, Kathy Magaziner, the prosecution argued that because Joe had taken her clothing and purse and buried them separate from her body, that he had robbed her, and that this was evidence of an aggravated offense, which would then allow the jury to invoke the death penalty.
Oh, wow.
And so the jury found him guilty and put him on death row.
I would think that just fucking murdering someone would
Was enough.
give you the death penalty too.
Well,
or
here's the
option.
thing. Yeah, here's the thing. If you don't rob someone, but you kill them, then you just get put, life in prison.
Yeah.
But because you rob them, that's considered aggravation. So then it's like, oh, we can put you to death.
That's crazy.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Okay, so in July of 2000, however, the Court of Appeals overturned the death sentence and changed his sentence to life imprisonment because they found that there was lack of evidence of a robbery.
Okay. Because he didn't actually take it. He just kind of hid it.
He just literally buried it separate. Like,
That's weird.
he just buried it in a hole.
Okay.
Like, and is it considered robbing somebody if it's after the fact? I don't know. I'm sure they argued all of this shit.
I don't know. Can you rob from a dead person?
I don't know. But
Here's
here's what's-
grave robbing at that point?
Yeah.
Isn't
That's got to
that-
be a different offense.
Yeah, I was like, isn't that another offense?
I don't even know. So here's what's odd is Joe was begging for the death penalty and admitted guilt to everything because he didn't want to have it appealed. Like he was like, yeah, I robbed her. Give me death. And his lawyers were the ones who were fighting for his appeal and who won.
Mm.
And somebody had said in one of the articles that like they didn't speak to Joe directly, but that they are pretty sure that he was happy with it being overturned.
Oh.
But everything else was like he sat in court and was like, I fucking robbed him. Yeah, I robbed him. Sure. Put me on death row. I want to die.
It might be one of those like bolstering kind of things. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever. I did that. Meh, I don't care.
Well, that's the thing is like, all of this story, right? I
Yeah.
don't know what is true. He confesses to a lot of stuff, and there's not any evidence to back up what he's confessing to. Like those 5 people he murdered in one night.
Yeah, so he might just be like trying to rack up his body count to be a
Yeah.
badass or something.
Exactly. Like 2 of those people that he killed that one night were for sure murdered and found.
Yeah.
But also there was another person who got convicted of murdering somebody else and potentially those other 2 people.
yeah.
So like, was that really Joe or wasn't it? Was he there or wasn't he? Is he just making that story up?
Is he just trying to be like a badass or get the death penalty for whatever reason?
Yeah. And he for sure murdered those other 3 women because they were like scattered all over his property. But did he really chop them up and sell them in a burger stand? Or is he just saying that
Yeah.
to be facetious? You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's hard to tell what's a lie and what's true. And there's not a lot of evidence that you can back up some of the things he's saying.
Remembering his picture, I feel like he definitely ate people.
I know. Okay, here's the thing though. That picture is creepy as fuck.
Yes.
And all of his like arrest pictures, he just looks like a normal dude. It's weird. He just looks like a normal dude who like might ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like he's got, he's bald with like a fucking Flavor Saver goatee thing, you know?
Gross.
Maybe not a Flavor Saver. It's like the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I want to see his regular fucking mugshots or whatever.
And he was like a bigger guy, but like the one picture you're thinking of,
Yeah.
he looks like ginormous. And then
Yeah.
all the other pictures, you're just like, it's just some guy with a belly who probably likes to sit next to the fucking pool and do cannonballs when everybody doesn't want to be wet. Like, okay, so then my last bullet here is on August of 2017, when Joe was 62 years old, he was found unresponsive by a prison guard in Maryland around 3 p.m., and that was on a Saturday, and he died in prison. His death was under investigation, but I could not for the fucking life of me figure out how he died or whatever came of that investigation.
So it doesn't sound like it was like a fucking traumatic or assault or anything like that. So I would assume maybe because he was a really big guy, he had a heart attack.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, they didn't say like he was stabbed or anything, but they didn't really give any details. They were just like, he was found unresponsive and we're investigating.
That's crazy.
So that's the story of Joe Roy Metheny.
That's fucking crazy.
And you kind of already
Goddamn.
knew it, but you forgot it all. And you didn't know all that other shit about it.
I didn't know most of that, I'm pretty sure. And then I barely pieced it all together when you mentioned the picture. I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember that guy fucking ate people.
I feel really bad that the timeline of all the women who were murdered and shit is so sketchy. I tried so hard to piece it together. So if I fucked it up, I'm really, really sorry.
Well,
But,
I
you
felt
know-
like I kept along.
Yeah. He murdered a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
And he did the same thing. It basically was like strangling or stabbing and raping and then cutting them up and selling them to eat. And evidently he fucked somebody's head.
I mean, if you're going to kill me and like eat my body and stuff, don't rape me. That's just fucked up.
No. Well, hopefully they were dead for that, but I doubt because it was like prostitution, right? Like they
Yeah.
were there to do drugs and toot.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Gross.
Oopsie.
All right. You ready for my story?
I'm so ready.
Okay. So mine is about Mary Dempsey. Mary was a 53-year-old mother of 2
Uh-huh.
who worked at a credit union in San Antonio, Texas as a mortgage loan processor.
Ooh, sounds so exciting.
Yeah. But she loved her job and fucking had
Crushed
a good
it.
time there, right?
Got it.
Her children were her world,
Aww.
per usual.
Yeah, as us mothers do,
Mhm.
because we're awesome.
Exactly. She had a boy and a girl, Matthew, who was 18, and Jessica. I think she was older, but I'm not sure how old she was.
Okay, so her children are grown.
Yeah. She had separated from the children's father, Jack, in 2016. So
Okay.
this is a recent case.
Alrighty.
So her son, Matthew Dempsey, was in an ROTC program in high school, and he had aspirations to join the military.
Okay.
But unfortunately, in October of 2018, he was arrested for a DUI and given a $1,000 bail.
Ooh.
So
Oh,
then-
that sucks.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
He's out on bail.
Okay.
And then he moved out of his mom's house and into a mobile home with his pregnant girlfriend.
Oh, shit.
As I
Things got
mentioned-
real.
Yeah, he's 18.
Yeah.
So apparently he doesn't have a history of making good decisions.
No.
But
Knocking people up, having DUIs.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, he's just being 18, but like unfortunate circumstances where he gets caught both times.
yeah, literally everything goes wrong for
Yeah.
him.
He got caught for
Yeah.
all of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But Mary fucking loved him.
Yeah.
He
She's
was
going to
still,
help him.
Yeah, he was still her little baby and all that, right? So as I said, Mary worked at a credit union, and she was the type of employee to never miss a day unexpectedly.
Mm-hmm. That's the best thing you can do for yourself if you're going to get murdered.
Seriously.
Be reliable.
Have a routine.
Yes.
Yeah. So on Tuesday, April 9th of 2019, so just last year, guys.
Jeez.
Yeah. When Mary didn't show up for work, her coworkers got concerned and tried calling her.
Yeah.
They weren't able to reach her, so they called her daughter Jessica to see if she had heard from her.
Oh, that is not a call I ever want, for the record.
No. And Jessica said she hadn't heard from her, but she would go check on her.
Okay.
She didn't live at home, neither did Matthew. So.
No. Don't do it, Jessica.
No.
Have somebody else do it. That's the
Ugh.
neighbor.
Well, Jessica got to the house and she found her mom's car was gone, but both the
Oh.
doors were unlocked.
Okay.
And so she goes inside and she said it appeared as if someone had ransacked the house.
Oh, no.
She
That has got to make your heart sink, like, instantly.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
You know some shit went down.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So then she sees a blanket on the floor in the living room
Uh-huh.
and she gets closer to go check it out and she noticed a pool of blood
No.
underneath it and what appeared to be a person.
Oh, God. But not her mom.
Well, she immediately gets out of the house
Good.
and she calls the police because she's probably like,
yeah.
I don't want that shit burned in my fucking memory, right?
Also, crime scene, don't want to touch shit.
Yeah.
Really smart of her. And what if somebody's still in the house?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she just pieces the fuck out of there
Good
and
for
calls
her.
the cops.
Yes. Oh, my God. She sounds like a fucking genius.
Right? So
I don't know that I would have done the same thing in that scenario.
I would have definitely touched everything and gotten my DNA everywhere.
Yeah, and fucked it all up.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And been like, well, that blanket that's thrown across the room, that was over this body.
Let me try to reconstruct the scene for you.
Yeah. And they're like, stop touching things.
It was here. You're like moving the blanket back.
Exactly. So the police arrive and they find out that it is Mary's body under this blanket.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. And she's pronounced dead on the scene.
Mm.
So the police start canvassing the neighbors and looking for anyone who might have seen or heard something.
Yeah.
And they find a neighbor that remembers seeing two men leaving Mary's home the night before and
Okay.
that morning.
Oh, creepy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So police somehow believe that Mary's son Matthew might have been involved in some way.
No.
And so they go to his mobile home.
Okay.
He wasn't home at the time, but one of the police officers looks in the trash can outside and finds a trash bag with bloody clothes inside.
Oh, that's the worst idea he ever had if he did this.
Right?
Oh, that's not a good spot to hide it.
That's
the
fucking
first spot they're going to look.
out in the open, and you don't even need a warrant to go there.
In my trash can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when Matthew and his girlfriend get home, the police arrest both of them under suspicion of murder.
Yeah. Oh my God, that poor girlfriend. If she had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, immediately, the girlfriend is like, yep, Matthew admitted to me that
Oh.
he killed his mom.
What?
And he did it with his friend Daniel.
Why?
So,
That bastard.
right?
I swear to God, if any of my children murder me, I'm going to be so fucking pissed.
Oh my God.
No.
Yeah, that's a timeout for sure.
That definitely warrants, like, I brought you into this world, I can take you out of it.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah.
What happened?
So the police were like, perfect. Let's go get a warrant for this Daniel guy, right?
Okay.
And they arrest him as well.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Daniel Saucedo. I don't know if I address that later, but
Okay, but just so we know,
yeah.
he got a last name.
Yeah, he also has a last name. So meanwhile, in the other room, Matthew's also being questioned, and he admits to everything. So what had happened was
Tell me.
Matthew and Daniel apparently thought that they should rob Mary. So the two went to her home when she wasn't there, and they started collecting valuables and whatever they thought would be good to steal, right?
Uh-huh.
Then Mary comes home in the middle of this
Oh.
and turns on the light, and she sees Daniel, who's like, well, fuck, right?
Hi.
Yeah,
Hi, Mrs. Whatever.
Dempsey.
Hi, Mrs. Dempsey.
So then Matthew, her son, her loving baby boy,
Oh, God.
comes up behind her and hits her with a bat.
What the fuck, Matthew?
He starts beating her with this bat until Daniel grabs his own bat and starts beating Mary as well.
No! Was there a plan to kill her, or was it just to rob her? And then shit went astray quickly.
I think shit went south when
Oh,
she
God.
came home. Like, I don't think that they
Oh.
intended for her to get home.
You know what wouldn't be so bad is walking in and being robbed and it being your child.
Yeah.
Because you'd just be like, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of here.
Yeah, like seriously,
Yeah.
again, with this
Yeah.
DUI and
Yeah.
your fucking pregnant girlfriend and shit, like,
Get out of my house.
I know you need money. Tell me you need money.
Yeah. Or like,
Or whatever it is. Yeah.
should I be going to the pawn shop to buy my shit back?
Exactly.
What other shit did you sell?
Exactly.
But like, you don't murder your mom.
Well, so they beat her with these baseball bats, right?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm hoping that she was knocked unconscious
Dear Lord, hopefully.
because then
Oh, God.
Matthew decides to go to the kitchen and get a knife.
Why? No, this is too far. Like, hitting her in the head at, like, surprise? Okay.
Yeah,
whatever.
like, oh shit, I didn't know
Yeah.
it was you even though I'm at your house,
No,
right?
this is like aggravation. He's
No.
mad.
This is fucking overkill.
Okay.
So he comes back to Mary and he slits her throat.
Uh,
This is her son. This is her 18-year-old son.
why?
Here's the thing. I don't have an answer for the why.
That's so fucked up. That's
That-
so fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Ugh.
This one fucked with me. And it fucked with me because I don't know. I don't know why.
That's awful.
So then Matthew grabs his mom's blanket from her room and he puts it over her body.
That's a sign of remorse to like cover up what you did.
I have heard that. Yeah.
So
You're
he's
right.
like, he doesn't want to look at it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Who would?
I feel like the remorse should have come after like hitting her once with the bat.
Yeah, you went a little crazy back there.
Yeah, because I can only imagine this 53-year-old woman fucking dropped when you hit her in the back of the head with a bat.
Oh my God, right? And when she recognizes the people, she's not fighting back. She's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you doing?
Well, he was friends with Daniel in high school, so I'm assuming that
She
Mary
knew.
Yeah, Mary had met this kid before. Like when she turns on the light and sees Daniel, she's probably like, "The fuck are you doing here?" Like,
what are you doing, Daniel?
yeah, like
That's what I mean. Like, she's probably not fighting back. She's like more stunned or questioning, you know,
confused.
instead of like, yeah.
Yeah.
If it was somebody you don't know, you might be like, ah, and like run away. But
Exactly.
somebody you know, you're going to be like,
Hey.
hi?
Yeah. Matthew doesn't live here anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Matthew's not home.
how'd you get in?
This is
Which,
creepy.
by the way,
Why
I
were
don't think that I mentioned it, but they got in because Matthew had a key.
Yeah. I mean, it's his house, right?
Well, he
his
doesn't live there
mom's
anymore.
house.
But yeah, he had a key to his
I can
mom's
get
house.
into my parents' house. Yeah.
So after he puts the blanket over her, the two guys just go about their business, continuing to load up on whatever they wanted to steal.
Oh, no.
And Matthew goes through his mom's wallet and grabs her credit cards, cash, and keys, and then loads up their haul into his mom's car.
Oh, shit.
They stop at an ATM and withdraw some money from her account.
Leaving a fucking trail.
I was gonna say, which even if they hadn't been caught immediately, like
You would have been caught quickly.
you would have been caught after that ATM. It's 2019. You don't think every ATM has a fucking camera?
Right?
Like,
You're not very smart, are you?
not at all. And she
No.
works at a credit union. You would think that she's talked business to him before at some point. Like,
Right?
oh, we have this picture of this guy who tried to steal from our ATM.
Yeah, like he would know this.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I guess
Was he doing drugs or some shit?
literally nowhere did it address any kind of drugs or that he
Huh.
had any issues. I mean, he had a DUI, so he was kind of
Maybe
like
he.
shady, but
Yeah.
at the same time, a DUI does not mean that you do drugs.
I was gonna say, I don't even think a DUI means you're shady. Like you just drank one time and made a bad decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean, who the fuck hasn't?
Yeah.
But maybe he had a drinking problem.
Maybe he had a
Speculating
drinking problem.
wildly.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking maybe he was like hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Yeah,
Because like
yeah.
if you go to this party or something and like your friends let you drive home drunk, maybe those friends aren't like the greatest people.
Yeah.
Not putting anything on anyone, but like just
Yeah.
trying to think of the situation that
Scenario.
might lead to him robbing and murdering his mom.
And making some dumbass decisions.
Seriously. So I guess the two guys go to their respective homes and then Matthew confessed everything to his girlfriend.
Oh shit.
And then the police showed up like later that day to
The
arrest
girlfriend
him.
didn't do anything?
Here's the thing. They
Yeah.
weren't home when the cops showed up to arrest them. So
Uh-huh.
I don't know that she necessarily had time to do anything.
Yeah, maybe you're like, oh shit, self-preservation.
Exactly.
When I get a moment.
Exactly. And he's like, oh, we got to go to Costco or whatever.
And
And so
she's
she's
like,
like, yeah,
"Yeah,
let's do our normal chores
I
together.
need paper towels.
Yeah. And like maybe they went and were doing stuff. Or maybe she was shady. I don't actually know.
Yeah, that's
but-
scary.
I believe that she testified against him. So I
So,
don't
yeah.
think she was like intentionally in on it or anything
Got
like
it.
that.
Got it.
So, like I was just kind of saying, I don't believe that the girlfriend was charged with anything, even though she was initially arrested.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Oh, she was arrested?
Well, yeah, because they found the bloody clothes and they were living together, and so
Oh, yeah.
they just
Yeah,
arrested both
that's
of them to be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
let's question these people," right?
Yeah, some shady shit going on at your house.
Exactly. So Matthew and Daniel were both charged with capital murder.
Oh, God,
And-
good.
Matthew was 19 years old when he accepted a plea deal.
Oh, God.
For-
Why? Is there not enough evidence? Why do you have to do plea deals?
I don't know.
That's
but
stupid.
He got 42 years
Ugh.
and he would be eligible for parole in 21 years.
What?
Yeah.
That's like literally the prime of your life.
Yeah. He was 19. So
I guess maybe not literally, but like
he'll be 40.
I'm looking forward to 40.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not even that far away.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah. But
wow.
I think of the fucking U.S. prison system, and I don't feel like we really focus on rehabilitation.
No.
So this kid who's 19 makes some bad decisions and then robs and murders his mom, then spends more than his lifetime in jail. Like, he's
yeah.
not going to come out better.
No.
I don't know.
Oh, he's going to come out a little rough.
He's going to come out a little rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So his family doesn't believe that justice was done, and
Yeah.
they wished that he would have gone to trial.
How pissed would you be if that was your brother?
Well, I don't know what Jessica's thoughts on all of it were, but she approved the plea deal, the 42 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
So,
Maybe she just didn't want to go through it. You know, like the
yeah.
the trauma of a trial.
Well, her parents had separated. I'm not sure how involved Mr. Dempsey was in their lives.
Yeah.
But if you lose your mom because your brother killed her,
Oh,
then
God.
you're going to lose your brother too. Like, that's kind of the only family that you have. Again, I don't know how involved the dad was. He might have been like,
Yeah.
you know, right there and everything. And she had a dad still.
That's a fucking lot to take in.
Yeah.
Oy.
So she might have been at a point where she's just like, I don't want to destroy my entire family all in one fell swoop. Like,
Oh, that's so sad.
yeah.
Ugh.
Which I don't know. I don't think I would want to make that decision.
No, I was just going to say, I hope she had like people around her to help her, you know? Like when you're in like a traumatic state of mind,
Yeah.
you
Like-
might not make the best decisions.
Yeah.
Not saying that she didn't make the best decision for her, because what the fuck do I know? Exactly everything you just named off. But like,
Yeah.
you know,
But she might regret it or
I
something.
hope she had people helping her.
Yeah. I don't know.
God damn, that sucks.
But the rest of the family didn't agree with it.
Oh, that's
Like
crazy.
the mom's sisters. I
Yeah,
think.
I'm sure.
Yeah. They were
pretty
like,
pissed.
what the actual fuck, bro? Like,
Yeah.
that's my nephew. Send him to trial.
Wow.
Yeah. So Daniel hasn't had his trial yet.
Wow.
But-
It's that recent.
Yeah, but part of Matthew's plea deal was that he agreed to testify against Daniel if he goes to trial.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So is he claiming like he did the final blow or something? But I mean, bro, you slit her throat.
Well, the articles that I read didn't specify. One of the articles that I read said that Matthew was the one that grabbed the knife and slit her throat. Other articles said that they then grabbed the knife and they slit her throat. Like that one of them did it, but it didn't specify who.
Ooh.
So, and Matthew was the one to hit her first with the bat. So I don't.
Maybe
I
that's
don't
his
know.
defense or something, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I was just hitting her to stun her and then Daniel went crazy.
Yeah, it could be. Daniel's trial was supposed to be like last month in December.
Oh, wow.
And I think it got pushed back. So I don't think he's had it yet.
Oh, wow. Our fucking court system is so backed up.
I know. So if you get called in for jury duty, fucking go.
Yeah, what state is this in? Oh, Texas? I think you said Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
if you're
man,
in-
I'm sure to be on a jury in any case in Texas is very entertaining.
Right? So then I started blasting.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah. But like we kind of addressed earlier, I couldn't figure out the why in all of this.
Yeah.
And it didn't say that he had confessed that part.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be so mad if my kid murdered me.
I would be pissed if my kid murdered me.
Yeah.
But also, like, as a child who once had parents, like,
Yeah.
I feel like if I was caught doing something, stealing from them, and they came home, I would much rather just take the lecture that you're
Yeah.
going to get. Like,
Yeah.
the I'm disappointed in you. How could
Yeah.
you fucking do this to me? Get out of my
Exactly.
house.
Exactly.
Then murder them.
That
Like,
was an extreme step.
yeah.
That's what makes me think there has to have been like drugs or alcohol or something. Or maybe he was just like mentally unstable, but he had a girlfriend and like got her pregnant and everything. And I wonder what her take is, you know, like,
Yeah.
yeah, he was crazy or
Like,
No,
no,
he was-
threatened violence or anything.
yeah, like he was totally normal and that totally shocked me. Like, I want to know more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
too. And I
Wow.
like fell into this and I was like, I have to do this one. And then
Yeah.
of course I start like, okay, you get all the facts, and you're like, okay, but like, why
But now
though?
what?
Yeah, but like, why? What happened?
Yeah.
There's nothing here
Well,
that.
it sounds like we're still in the middle of it. So
Yeah.
Ooh, you'll have to give an update.
I will. If I hear
Ooh.
about whatever happens, I'll try and fucking remind me. 1 year. Daniel Salcedo.
That's so weird that like all of these names sound really familiar to me, but I don't recollect anything that you just said.
Oh, really?
All of the names sound familiar though.
Weird.
Like deja vu familiar.
Weird.
Hopefully I don't know the family. That'd be weirder.
That's in Texas, so probably not.
Yeah, I know people in Texas.
Mm,
I got connections,
you
girl.
got people in Texas?
Girl.
Yeah.
You don't even know.
But everyone on like her Facebook and everything is like, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. Like, you are
Wow.
such a loving person.
Oh, that's so sad.
And basically, like, I know
Uh-huh.
how much you loved your children, this and that. Like, it was fucked up.
Oh, that's so messed up. I
Yeah.
wonder if he has remorse.
He better.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he put a towel over her, a blanket over her, so.
Yeah. Also, the pictures of Matthew and Daniel, like, they just look like kids. Every article
Oh.
was like, I saw 2 men leaving. I saw men, like, this man was arrested for killing his mom. And then you think about it and you're like, but he's 19. He was 19 when he
Yeah.
went to trial. Well, he didn't go to trial. When he took the plea bargain.
Yeah. Oh, God.
He was 18 when he murdered her.
That's so young.
So, yes, technically he's a man, but, like,
They don't look like it.
he's a child.
They look like teenagers. Yeah.
and
yeah.
fucking mentally still a child.
Yeah.
If you were,
yeah,
like-
18, 19,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, make a decision that affects the rest of your life. When I was 18,
Ugh, I did. I got tattoos. I love them still, though.
I know, right? And people join the military and go do that kind of thing. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like 21 at least.
Yeah.
Like, you're still fucking developing. at
Even
18,
21,
man.
I've done some stupid shit.
Oh, yeah.
Every year I learn something new.
Exactly. I
About
still mentally feel like a child, but
Exactly.
barely scraping
Oh,
by.
God damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Doesn't it?
Ugh, that one pulls at my heartstrings just because, like, if there is no reason other than he legit was just robbing her and fucking snapped,
Yeah.
that's some scary fucking shit to live your life with,
Yeah.
having children ourselves.
Yeah. And imagine raising a kid for fucking 18 years and you're like, go be in the world. Even if I'm pissed
Go
at you
fly.
because you got a chick pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, even if
But it
that
sounded
was,
like she was supporting him. Like that was his baby or her baby.
yeah, that
boy,
was her
so-
baby boy and
yeah.
everything. Like, from what I could tell, everything, she was nice and everything like that. But Facebook isn't necessarily going to be like, and then I kicked him out of my house because he got his fucking chick pregnant.
Facebook isn't going to be like, wow, you really raised a dick back there, Mary. Like,
Exactly. And they're not going to be
see,
like,
I told you.
yeah, my piece of shit son or anything
Yeah,
like that.
No, they're not going to say anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So you don't know what's going on behind closed doors kind of thing. But
oh, God, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Ugh.
yeah.
Well, goddamn.
God damn.
All right. Well, on that note, let's close this bitch out then.
All right. Well, there's going to be pictures pertaining to our cases on isgdpodcast.com. So if you want to check those out,
Please do.
head on over there. You can also find links to our Patreon and our merch.
Uh huh.
And if you want to suggest any cases or email us, just drop us a line. Want to tell us that we're awesome. Want to tell us that you hate us. Want relationship advice. I am fucking goddamn determined to fix someone's relationship. And by fix, I mean just give you
Advice.
advice. It won't be good.
No,
This is why
You
I keep saying that. That's why people aren't writing in.
You keep saying that. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to give any kind of advice. I am in no position.
I want to be a Dear Aaron.
Oh God. Which, speaking of, because you're going to say to email us at isgdpodcast@gmail.com.
That's right.
Yep. I owe so many replies to so many fucking people, and please don't hate me. I let them pile up throughout the week, and then I'm like, I'm going to do it. And then it'll be like a week and a half later, and then I finally slam them all out. And then, like, every Monday we get a ton more, and I'm like, I'm behind again. I love you all. I read them. I swear I'm going to reply. It used to be so much easier when I was feeding a baby all fucking night long. Like,
True.
I could reply then.
Yeah.
But life just got a little hectic going back to work and being sick. But I promise, fucking keep writing me because I will reply to all of them. And I love you all so much.
Well, don't worry. Just tell me to look at them if they're relationship advice, and I'll handle those ones.
Yeah. You can have those.
All right. And we are also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram
Yeah,
at
yeah.
ISGD Podcast. Or you can snail mail us at P.O. Box 2764, Spring Valley, California, 91979.
Oh, also, go subscribe, rate, and review us. Go tell your friends about us because we have this new fucking
goal.
Yeah, of hitting, double our numbers.
Hell yeah.
Our listeners. So you guys are the ones who are going to help us with that.
Sorry, you just got a chore.
They're cool with it. But the more you go fucking write shit on there and tell people like, yeah, hey, I love this podcast or whatever, then it puts us on lists and people find us and it's great.
Yep. Is that all?
That's it.
Love you.
Love you more.
Bye.
Bye.